You meant to say action.
No, I thought I'd just surprise you by starting
I saw.
without, getting everyone tense or self-conscious. And I'll just start it in my own time.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not officially on camera just yet.
I can see the little red light though. He's going to put all this shit in, isn't he?
Some outtakes would be funny, wouldn't it?
You've got a bleep machine.
No bleep machine, so you'll have to be on your best behaviour.
What are you looking at me for?
All right. Hello, goblins. It's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of, well, not this week's Pipes. It's an episode of Pipe Makers Gathering. Let's call it that. Let's have a look who's here. I'm not going to tell you their names because we've got a bit for that. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
There you go. Yeah, it's a Pipe Makers Gathering we've had. So I thought we'd get everyone to have a chat and see who they are and what they've been up to. So who have we got first? Why don't you
got
introduce
me.
yourself? Who are you?
Who am I? I'm in your house. You
Yeah.
should know. I'm Chris Asquith. What do you want to know?
You're a pipe maker. That's true, isn't it?
It is. It's the reason I'm here.
So, how long have you been a pipe maker?
17 years.
Which is a
Long time.
long time. How or why, if those questions are the same, did you get into pipe making?
Just an accident.
It was an accident.
Just an accident because I was a pipe smoker and I was tinkering with pipes and I got the opportunity to make a pipe and that was that. Just fell into it.
So with no guidance, so how did you teach yourself then?
I had one lesson of somebody demonstrating how to make a pipe and then I had a go and never stopped. That was it.
We talked a little bit before. Would you say that did you gain most of your knowledge online, or did you gain most of your knowledge just by trying to do stuff and just giving it a go?
Trying to do stuff, learning from mistakes, talking with a friend about it, watching online, trying this, trying that. A lot of trial and error and just improving. Try and improve every time.
Awesome.
That's the only way you can do it, really.
Very true. All right. Apart from pipe smoking and making, what do you do? Do you do anything else?
No.
That's not entirely true, though, is it? You do cooking.
Everybody's got to eat. So I do cook, yeah.
But you're always cooking adventurous things, aren't you?
I don't like to eat the same meal twice, if possible. So I like to try cooking something different every time.
Okay. What was the last dish that you made?
There's a bit you're going to have to edit out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got me there.
Never mind. All right.
Pasta.
All right. Pasta. Because you've never eaten pasta before.
No.
Okay. What? How would you describe your pipe style?
Classic shapes with a modern twist is what I would usually try and describe them as, and what other people usually describe them as. So I take a classic shape to begin with and try and make a very refined version of that shape, and then add colour, interesting finishes, change the proportions, make it mine, basically.
I would add that your pipes are I would say that they're very precisely shaped.
Yeah, I try and get the lines as crisp as I could, depending on the shape, but try and get crisp lines, sharp edges, tight transitions. If it's a poker, it's going to have very straight sides, a tight transition between the shank and the bowl. Same with the billiard, tight cheeks, sharp lines, that kind of thing.
And your ability to repeat details is pretty astonishing, because we've noticed, both me and Aidan have noticed, like your buttons are just like across about 1 million pipes, they're all the same.
Yeah, I try and standardise them as best I can, and try and keep those details as close to the same for each pipe as I can.
Yeah, I mean, for a handmade item, to
Yeah.
keep that detail repeated across, 1 billion repetitions is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'd say things like my button is not. I wouldn't say many people make a button in the shape that I make it, and so I use that as one of my design features, that you can recognise my pipe from not just its logo, but the style and the shaping,
Yeah.
and the button being one of them, or the shank to bowl transition, or the style of the stem, like the way it flares, the lines on the top and the bottom.
Can I just show
Yes,
the detail? Because it's quite a pronounced curve
Yeah,
there with the
in both
the button.
both directions, it's rounded over.
Really neat straight slot. Really nice flare on that stem. Because I do flares on my stems, but not as pronounced as that. I just probably a straight taper, but yours has a lovely.
Yeah, I
sort of
try
flow.
and keep the width of the button fairly consistent across all pipes. They're pretty much all about 17.5 to 18 millimeters wide at the mouthpiece, even on small pipes or larger pipes. So I'm trying to keep that shape the same, and so they'll all feel the same in the mouth, if possible.
And you're quite well known for making mortar pipes as opposed to briar.
Yes, and probably one of the only people making English mortar pipes, as opposed to
Do you mean as in mortar from England?
mortar from England. Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Cheers, Chris.
Thank
Get
you
out the
very
hot
much.
seat.
Who's
Who's next?
One of the two young boys.
Go on.
Geordie. Come on in. Hello, chap.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Stuart from Geordie Pipes.
Stuart, how long have you been a pipe maker?
2.5 years.
So, what prompted you to get into the pipe making?
Dad used to be a pipe smoker. Then I started pipe smoking, and I thought maybe I should give it a bash at making a pipe. So, luckily for me, a pipe maker from Bolton area, Jonty Pipes.
Oh yeah.
I got in touch with Jonty. He made me a pipe. I thought, yeah, it's a nice looking pipe, but I wanted to make my own pipe. So I went to see Jonty one day, spent an afternoon in his garage, made my first ever pipe, and it's kind of escalated from there.
Did you make that first pipe? Did you make it from scratch, or did you
Yeah,
make
no,
it from
it was from scratch. It
Oh,
was,
fair play.
yeah. And like I say, when I first started making pipes, all the stems were pre-made stems, but you're limited to what you can make with a pre-made stem.
You are.
You know,
Mhm.
so obviously Jonty showed me how to make a pipe, and it went from there.
So have you never used a pipe kit before?
Nope.
Okay. I must have been
Never
one of the
used a
few-
lathe before. Never used a lathe. You know, I've seen lathes, but never used a lathe.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, quite a steep learning curve, really.
Was that during COVID, or that was?
No, that was after COVID.
That was after
yeah,
COVID.
after COVID it was, yeah.
Because I knew it was like there was a rash of new pipe
Yeah.
makers during COVID,
Mm.
but you came after those.
Yeah,
guys.
it was after that, yeah.
Fair dues. What else do you do apart from
I-
pipe making?
Right, I do a lot of cycling. That's my hobby as well. But I work for a living. I'm a dispatch manager in a small family concern who make PVC windows and doors. And I work in Bolton.
So how much time do you reckon you get to put pipe making
Into
away?
pipes, I would say anywhere between 45. If I'm 45 and to an hour on a night time, if I get a chance.
You try to do it most days?
Yeah, try to. Sometimes I always say to myself, oh, I'm going to take a 3-week break from making a pipe. But after about a week, I start getting itchy feet then. So I've got to start making another pipe.
Understandable.
You know, but I like classic shapes. Favourite shape is me, I do love it. I love it.
Is this one of your guys?
Yes, this one of my love it.
Show them up to the camera there. Awesome. What's that pipe stem material?
It's acrylic. It's called Hurricane Grey. Yeah, it's quite a heavy rustication. Stamped at the bottom, obviously, with a Geordie pipe stamp. And I have this little inlay in the top now, a little brass pin in the top.
Let's just show that. It's a nice detail. Cool. What else am I going to... Oh, yeah. Maybe you just answered this. I was going to ask you what's your pipe style.
Pipe style, yeah, like I say, classics, Rhodesians, Bulldogs.
So
Love
we're
it.
talking like English classics.
Yeah, but I do like to push the boat out a bit, sometimes test myself, you know, quirky shapes, you know, like the one I brought in today, which I showed you was like the eye shape, the oval shape, full oval shank, you know, but yeah, I enjoy making it. It's just I'm a hobbyist pipe maker. I enjoy doing it. You know, I get a lot of enjoyment out of doing them as well. I've had some good teachers. I've had Ian Walker from Northern Briars.
Yeah.
He's always been a big help. Showed me a lot of things. I've had a bit of help off Aidan when I first started. You know, and obviously from John T. You know, there's a lot of good lads we can talk to. Get tips if we ever need them.
Absolutely.
You know, from yourself and whatnot.
Cool. Have you found things like, because you were at last year's, UK Pipe Show.
Yeah.
Have you found those positive events?
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. If you don't go, then obviously people are not going to know you. They're not going to see your work, are they? So it's best to get there, get your work out. Hopefully, take off from there.
Absolutely.
You know.
Cool.
Sold a few pipes abroad, but that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Nice. Oh, where would you say your main customer base is at the moment?
At the moment, USA. At the moment.
Where's the state?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, fair dues.
I've had a few. Yeah.
All right.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Cheers, chap.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, Stuart.
Right, brilliant.
In you come. Next in the hot seat. Hi, Lee.
Afternoon, guys. How are we?
Not bad.
Good.
Introduce yourself.
Lee Masser, Peak Pipes. Some of you might know me on Instagram, Peak Pipes UK.
Awesome.
That's me. You can now see me.
How long have you been making pipes?
I've been making pipes for a couple of years now. So March is my the first time I made it 2 years ago.
2 years.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So quite new. Learning every day.
Yeah.
It's exciting, interesting.
How-
Lots of problems.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pipe making is definitely, maybe it never stops. It's primarily a problem-solving endeavour, isn't it?
It can be certainly when you're fairly new to it. Nothing comes easy to start with, but yeah, all good fun.
How or why did you get into pipe making?
It's a bit of an odd story.
Love it.
My son, who's in the Royal Engineers, he came back up from a training exercise down south in Chatham, and he came back up, and they'd been to a cigar shop and brought some pipes back up with him and some tobacco, and I'd completely forgotten about pipes. My uncle used to smoke pipes, my granddad did, but I'd like a cigar now and again, but never thought of smoking pipes. So he brought them back up, and I went, I like that. So I had to go with that, with some pipes and tobacco, and then it kind of spiralled from there. So then I bought lots of pipes. Mrs. M said, rather than buying all these pipes, why don't you try and make some pipes? Because I've always been fairly handy with wood. I've done a bit of lathe turning and that kind of stuff before. And so it sort of started from there. I knew Stuart, Geordie Pipes and John T quite well. And they'd started dabbling in pipes, and it kind of escalated from there. So I kind of tagged on to what they were doing, and we went through varying processes, and I kind of made my first pipe, and it was all right for what it was. But yeah, it went from there. Then I went to see Aidan a few times,
Yeah.
and he's helped me quite a lot. You guys just give us tips all the time, and it's kind of gone from there. So yeah, really good.
So, how long have you been smoking a pipe?
Smoking a pipe for about 5 years.
Okay.
So
All right, I'm putting it together now.
relatively new in the whole scheme of things, really. But yeah, good.
Cool. How would you describe your pipe style, if you can?
I don't think I have a particular style, to be fair.
Are you drawn to any particular shapes?
No, not really. I tend to just go with what I feel like making at the time. So, whilst I've got a lot of influence from traditional English shapes, being from here, and some of the guys that have shown me bits and pieces are heavily into that, the likes of Eden, the Hesselwood pipes, and that kind of stuff. I've still not gone down a certain route, so I kind of like to explore different shapes, and I've done a bit of that. You might have seen it on the Instagram. All sorts of stuff, from faceted stuff to, I mean, this is a squash tomato shape there. But
Lovely.
I like to do a bit of carving and all sorts of stuff, just different variations on shapes and what have you. But, yeah.
So you reckon would you say that you're still finding your style?
Probably still developing a style as such. Whether it'll ever end up being sort of pigeonholed into anything, I'm not sure, but I just enjoy it, and I quite like exploring different stuff and different rustications.
Yeah, it might
and
just be
kind
that
of stuff.
maybe you don't even wind up with one style in
Yeah.
particular. You might have I have at least 2 strands of pipe making,
Yeah, definitely.
and I switch between the two. Maybe you'll have 5 strands
Quite possibly, yeah.
and just do a lot, just depending on what frame of mind you're
Yeah.
in.
Exactly.
Awesome. I was going to say show us. You've just shown us.
I've just shown a pipe, so you've seen that.
All right.
Awesome.
Cheers, Lee.
Thanks, Chris.
Next up, come on in. Wee, hi Mike.
Hi, Chris.
Are you good?
Yeah, all right. You good?
Where are you? Let's get you. Make sure you're in the camera. All right. Are all the phones turned off?
Mine's still on, but I'm not expecting any calls.
Introduce yourself.
Mike Billington, Blakemar Briars.
Blakemar Briars.
Yeah.
Right, this is going to be an interesting one. How long have you been a pipe maker?
Full time, 38 years now.
So you were a part-time pipe maker before that?
I worked for my uncle. First experience of making pipes was helping my uncle when I was 11. Holidaying at his house and spending the time helping him make pipes in the factory.
Staining pipes. and all
Well,
that.
yeah, not quite. Nothing.
No?
Nothing
Was
as
that too
involved
much
as that.
responsibility?
Yeah, yeah. In those days, my uncle employed a lot of people, was churning out a lot of pipes, and in those days you had a little vulcanite. On the vulcanite, you had a little a stamp,
Right.
which was waxed in, and then you put the wax on, and then it'd be a letter or a shape or something. So you'd rub the wax in and then rub it off with a cloth, and that's what.
You'd fill the
Yeah,
stamp
that's
with
it,
the wax.
yeah.
Got you.
So me and my sister used to do that when we were on holiday, but that was about 60 years ago.
Hells bells. Yeah,
But that was my first introduction. I didn't start smoking a pipe until I was a bit older.
that's nice to know.
About
So you weren't.
about 17 when I first smoked a pipe.
That sounds all right. Yeah.
And I spent 6 months between school and college, full time in the factory, just doing odd jobs really. But
So you are pretty much lifetime involved in pipe making, one way or the other.
yeah,
it
pretty
sounds
much,
like.
yeah.
Oh, that's blended right into the next question, which is how did you get into it? So it's a family business, is it?
Yeah, Yeah, my uncle learned from his father, who was apprenticed to a pipe maker in London in the 1870s.
Yeah.
He worked for a number of pipe makers in London over a period of 20 years or so, and then set up on his own back in Northamptonshire in 1890. He died in 1936, and my uncle started making pipes full time then. Apart from during the war, of course, couldn't get the briar.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, and he
Hard to
retired
get
in '86, and I took over full time then.
Right. Awesome. I don't think asking your pipe style makes any sense, does it? Because you make a boatload of classic English shapes,
Yeah.
and then, but you do make some handmade pipes
I did.
because you've been making them for the Four Horsemen
Yeah.
at least. So you can pretty much turn your hand to anything.
Yeah, as required. I'm trying to take it a bit easier these days. I only work part time really these days because I'm getting a bit older.
Apart from pipe making, then what else do you like to get up to?
Gardening really.
Gardener.
Spend half the time in the garden, weather permitting.
You have more green thumb than me then, because I can't stand the garden. Did you? Oh, have you got a pipe? Oh, you got a pipe with you. Is this one that you
This one I've
out of your
made.
factory?
Yeah. That's
I'd call that a Zuli. Would you call that a Zuli?
no, I call it a woodstock.
A Woodstock.
Yeah. That's because my uncle used to call it a woodstock.
It's
Like
even
a
got
Zulu, but it's oval rather than round.
oval shank.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we. Let's not get into naming conventions now.
No. Right.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Last but not least.
Oh, Chris,
Hi, Ian. How are you?
I'm fine, thank
You're
you.
good. You are in the camera. You know what? I'm just going to move us up. There you go. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Ian Walker from Northern Brice, and I've been making pipes for coming up to 52 years.
52 years. That's a heck of a long time. How did you get into
It
pipe
was
making?
it's a family business. My grandfather started at Duncan's, and he taught my father in the 50s, and I went straight from school in 72. I've been there ever since.
When did you start working in a pipe factory?
In the factory that was factory, it was 12 foot by 24 foot, and the three of us worked together there.
When did you start working on your narrowboat?
2002. So we worked in Altrincham, and then I moved to Heaton Moor in '83, and by 2002 I worked on my narrowboat because travelling to Stockport from Middlewich every day was taking a lot of time. So I thought, well, we could work at home, and the only way to work from home when you live on a narrowboat, have the boat stretched and the workshop put in there, and now I've got a 4 foot commute. Which is, it's not bad.
Because that's probably the most unique pipe workshop I've ever seen on a boat.
Yeah, it's people think it rocks. It doesn't rock. It's the boat's 20 odd ton, so
Stable in
it's
the
very
water.
Stable enough. Yeah. Everything's in hand. Everything's to hand. It's only 11 foot long by 7 foot wide, but everything's to hand. And I'm in the middle, so I'm working front and behind.
What would you say is your pipe style? Do you have one?
Classic English seems to be the orders, but I do get commissions for unusual stuff, sea urchins, fossils, and I put my hand to everything. Speared fish, the last one we did in the the Four Horsemen set we did.
That's right.
That,
Yeah.
I got water. I thought, well, I'm not going to do a sea urchin because it's too obvious. So we went for the speared fish.
Yeah, spearfish
Maybe you
is awesome.
saw that.
And I've seen you use seashells, sticking
Yes, yeah.
bowls into seashells and stuff.
Well, I got that from Italian pipe maker. I saw in Dortmund one trip. I went there, and they were. I thought, well, it's just a seashell. And it's they put the bowl inside and drill the seashell. You've got to get it right. And it works.
That was a pretty
Don't do too
unique
many
pipe.
of those. It's finding the right seashells. Yeah.
But yeah, but the point is that you can, yeah. When I've seen you like go, I've seen a shape. I'm gonna give that one a go.
Yeah.
So you know, you can tell that your mind is always alive to new shapes and possibilities.
I'm always on the lookout. If
Yeah.
I have more time, I'd try and emulate some of your shapes. It's, at the moment, it's there's plenty of work on, and you've got to make what you can to make a living. Rather than
Yeah. Yeah.
do something artistic, more artistic like yourself.
I think you're probably one of the most prolific pipe makers, certainly that I've met. You can dwarf the amount of pipes that I can make in a week. But I guess that comes from practice, experience,
Having the right equipment.
and having the right equipment.
Well, at the moment, so I've got I'm working on 10 at the moment, and I've got that'll be about 100 I've done this year so far.
Amazing.
Because I keep a record of how many pipes I make. Yeah.
I think I'll probably reach 100 pipes by the end of the year, something like that. Do you have a pipe? Is that one of yours?
Yeah. Well, that's one of mine. But, I got this one. It's one I took a deposit on at Christmas and waiting for the balance. And he said, bring a pipe. And the situation was I'd just posted 16 to America and I've got 10 part men on the bench. The only pipe I got is this one. So it's not exactly the best pipe in the planet. But it's a nice enough pipe.
Nice. That's like a panelled.
Panel
Panelled.
end, yeah. With flutes.
What stem material have you used for that?
Cumberland.
Is that like as in
Vulcanite.
Vulcanite
Yeah,
Cumberland.
yeah.
Awesome. Cheers, Ian.
It's okay.
Right. Have I embarrassed everyone?
Yeah, but we've got one more embarrassment. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to take this chair and I'm going to
Right.
sit there.
Is that what you were muttering about to yourself?
And then I'm going to
We've got 3 minutes to embarrass him.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's
Well,
nice joining you here,
go
Ian.
away. Hello, goblins. This is the interview you've all been waiting for. And the 4 guys behind us that you've all seen and said, yes, it's a good idea. So now I'm going to interview, what's your name?
My name's Chris
Chris
Kelly.
Chris Kelly from
From Eldritch Pipes.
Eldritch Pipes. Right. So,
Can you read my writing?
yeah. How long have you been a pipe maker, Chris?
I've been a pipe maker for 10 years, including the first year when I didn't sell any pipes. I was just trying to get good enough to sell. But yeah, so
How did you get into it?
I smoked a pipe for a number of years. I don't remember how many, because I went to college in Stratford, and there was that Land's tobacconist, which was the first.
Oh yes, I know.
The first real tobacconist I ever saw, and bought a pipe from there. Smoked a pipe for a couple of years, left it for a couple of years, and then I don't remember what drew me back to it, but started smoking a pipe again, and I saw that they had a pipe kit. So Land's Tobacconist had a pipe kit in their window. So I thought, I'll give that a go.
So you made it from a kit.
And my first 2 pipes were from
Yeah.
pipe kits. And then I had an idea that maybe this would be a good way to go and get out of my job that I hated.
Which was what? If I may ask.
Working in the library service in
Right,
Wellington.
right.
Yeah. Which had started off well, but I'd grown apart from it. So I saw pipe making as a possible way out, and that's so I put all my energy into trying to get good at pipe making.
So, apart from pipe making, what else do you do?
Now,
Yeah, other than pipe making.
nothing.
Nothing. I know
No,
exactly what you
nothing.
mean. Yeah.
I used to be a musician. I used to do music,
What did you play?
guitar.
Right.
Um,
So it's all so you're good with your fingers then.
yeah. Well, I like to think so. But yeah, I don't do music anymore because it's all about pipes. You know,
I'm going to ask you what style do you use, but everybody that watches your videos know that. But come on, what's your favourite shape to make?
my favourite shape to make. In terms of like simplicity, I really like to make the Viking horn because it's like a simple flow that's
Yeah.
really pleasing.
That's the one you smoke on your videos. maybe?
No, that's the acorn.
Oh, right. Oh, I know the Viking corn. Yes, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That guy.
Yeah.
But probably the most rewarding shape to make is the snail because there's quite a lot of elements to it. It takes a long time,
Yeah.
but by the time you get to the end of it,
And you do these with the ball,
yeah,
the
that's
ball
right.
of coloured ball in the middle of it as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And you make your own rods.
And I make my own rods. Yes, thanks
As
for pointing
everybody
that out.
knows.
Ian.
Yes, of course.
And I even sell them as well.
Excellent. So I've had a few. I think everybody here's had some off Chris. And show us one of your pipes.
I didn't bring a
He
pipe
did
out.
we're in Chris's workshop and he hasn't got a pipe.
Let me show you a pipe.
There's your acorn.
There's my beaten up acorn,
There you go.
on which all other acorns are based.
Right.
Yes.
So just make one little point that you can see all these pipe makers at the British Pipe Smoking Championships, which is held in Middlewich on Saturday 11th of May. That's 9 weeks today. So if you come along, you'll be able to meet all these pipe makers plus a few others, and it's going to be a great day for everybody.
You cheeky sod. Who said you could plug that?
You can edit it. Why not?
We'll all be there.
I know
Yeah.
you'd all be there. That's why I said it. If it was someone who wasn't, I wouldn't have said it. It's not as if I'm plugging it for myself. I'm plugging it for all of us.
Absolutely.
Right, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Thanks, Ian.
So,
All right.
That's a surprise.
You might as
wasn't
well stay there right now.
it? Oh, what's what?
All right. I've got to sign off.
Oh, no.
All right. So now you've met pipe makers old and new. I'll see you on the next video. Probably next this week's pipes. Till then, take it very easy. Your loyal pipe makers. Ta-da.